Tonight on CTV, we bring you more on the Bomb Cyclone 2.0.
And we'll give you the latest updates on the ASCSU elections.
Plus, newspapers vanished from their racks. We'll tell you what you need to know tonight. Results for the ASCSU elections were announced just earlier tonight. I'm Marla Lundak.
And I'm Jacobo Tiscareño. Let's get started.
The results are more than a day late thanks to yesterday's snow day, but the final results for the ASCSU elections have been announced. Sophomores Ben Amundson and Alex Ferris have been elected by the student body as the 2019-2020 president and vice president. Current President Tristan Siren began tonight's short meeting by informing Senate that just over 26% of the student body voted in this year's election, which is 14% higher than last year's. I spoke with Amundson and Ferris tonight after the announcement.
To be honest with you, I'd love to consider it a huge victory, but it's actually more of a start to a lot more work that we have to get accomplished at this point.
I would agree with that. I am so excited to be able to work with the Student Fee Review Board since I currently serve as the vice chair, so I have a little bit of background knowledge. So I'm just excited to dig in and hopefully keep student fees as low as they possibly can be.
A full Senate session is expected to be back on schedule starting next Wednesday.
Nearly 75% of voters re-elected Mayor Wade Troxell last week, but not without incident. The Coloradoan reported a lawyer for the union representing Fort Collins police officers accused Troxell of threatening its members. The lawyer says the mayor wanted the group to re-endorse his re-election bid. Despite the non-endorsement by the Northern Colorado Fraternal Order of Police Lodge No. 3, which represents Fort Collins Police, Troxell was elected for his third term. Troxell and City Attorney Kerry Daggett denied the incident and questioned how the accusation began.
If you couldn't find a collegiate newspaper on campus on Tuesday morning, it might have been due to the controversial cover story. Ren Wadsworth has the story about all the missing papers.
The Collegian released a front-page feature about Benjamin Amundson and Alex Ferris, two candidates who were in the running for the next ASCSU president and vice president, going over the given elections budget.
So we actually had Nick Bond, who is the current controller in the Department of Finance at ASCSU, come downstairs and tell us, hey, I have been looking at their campaign finance reports and something's not adding up.
But the story and the newspapers didn't make it into the hands of many students on campus.
We had 3 people come in, or 3 times where people came in and basically told us your newsstands are empty. That was really weird. And then there was another person who ended up coming in with a stack himself and told us, I've been seeing people running around, grabbing these off the newsstands, ripping them up and throwing them in the trash.
Employees at the Collegian weren't satisfied with their story in the trash and decided to run the story again on Wednesday. Then members of the editorial team handed out the papers themselves Wednesday morning.
So I think it just shows the power of being able to do something and be pretty diplomatic about how you do it and be pretty smart in the way that you do it. And then that is the statement that gets made is you can't there's no silver bullet for this. Somebody we're going to get this story out regardless of whether or not you want it to get out or not. So.
Ren Wadsworth, CTV, Channel 11.
The Collegian is also under Rocky Mountain Student Media, the same corporation that funds CTV. For more information, you can visit the Collegian's website.
Colorado Governor Jared Polis may fulfill his campaign promise of free kindergarten for all. His House Bill 1262 passed its first test Tuesday when it was approved unanimously. The bill's passage was reportedly met with cheers and applause, and no one showed up to oppose it. Chalkbeat reports the program is expected to cost $175 million next year. That's less than the $227 million originally requested by the government.
A second bomb cyclone this semester hit Colorado yesterday, and CSU campus closed once again. Reporter Isabella Roberts has the latest on how it impacted the CSU community.
A second bomb cyclone to hit Colorado in less than a month arrived yesterday, impacting the CSU community.
I kind of have a duality with this snow day. Yeah, of course, it might be cool that, you're going to be able to stay home and relax a little bit, stay warm, drink your favorite hot chocolate or whatever. But, we're paying a lot of money, actually, to be here. And take care of business, schooling and stuff like that. But I think it goes even further than that. I'm working a job. I'm sure a lot of people actually work, full-time jobs, part-time jobs. That's going to affect my financial situation here because I had some other things that I had to take care of as well. So, it is bittersweet on some levels, but, got to take it in stride.
Although closing campus means extra time off, students aren't always excited about the decision.
It's kind of up to me to, make up all that work and do stuff like that. So I imagine other people as well have to deal with making up a bunch of work. I think it's a little silly to be canceling school just for stuff like this. I mean, I understand if people live off campus in areas and it's hard for them to drive here, but to completely cancel classes, and it could make more sense to have something where if you can't make it and you think it's going to be too risky to not come, but if you're here, you're on campus, then to still have classes because that's what you're paying for.
The public safety team and the president consider local school district closures, road conditions, and personal assessments before making the closure decision.
Yeah, the fact that we have a second snow day now is pretty shocking, especially consider last year I don't think we had a single one.
An email and text message alerts were sent out yesterday around noon, stating that CSU would close and cancel all classes and events after 3 in the afternoon.
So I drove all the way out here from Boulder. It took me twice as long to get here. And then when I got here, I found out that they were going to cancel school at 3. Then they ended up doing it earlier. They're urging everybody to leave now.
According to the Coloradoan, over 750 flights, both into and out of DIA, were canceled yesterday due to the blizzard. This is Isabella Roberts reporting with CTV.
Sydney Wicker has more for us on what to expect from this wacky Colorado weather. Sydney?
Thank you, Marlo. And as many students were enjoying the 70-degree weather and sunshine, it didn't last for long. And as they say, April bomb cyclones will hopefully bring May showers. Well, the second bomb cyclone to impact Colorado in just 4 weeks hit northern Colorado yesterday. We can see that it hit from just south of Denver all the way up to Fort Collins, and the snowstorm is currently traveling all the way up to Minnesota. As Isabella Roberts said, more than 700 flights out of Denver International Airport were canceled yesterday, and even the Colorado Rockies postponed their game against the Atlanta Braves yesterday and moved it to August 26th. The snow was not the only extreme condition Colorado faced this week, though. On Monday, the Boulder County region was on wildfire evacuation. A tiny house fire ended up spreading 15 acres, and only 75% of it was contained as of Tuesday. North of Highway 7, more than 130 evacuations were ordered. To watch out for wildfires, you can head to colorado.gov and click on the Current Wildfires tab. But for more updates on this weekend's weather, and if snow is in your forecast, stay tuned for Weather After News. Back to you two.
Thanks, Sydney. The National Endowment for Humanities awarded CSU $350,000 to further develop the Colorado Encyclopedia. This encyclopedia is an online resource for Colorado and will include new additions under the grant focusing on laws and governance. It's in the second phase of development and will expand to include 300 new articles. The project is expected to be finished by May 2022.
A prominent Australian leader, Julia Gillard, came all the way to CSU to share her life story and the challenges she believes our world is facing today.
The first and only female Prime Minister of Australia, Julia Gillard, made her way to CSU.
Our office is responsible for bringing the distinguished speaker every spring, somebody who's influential, who the student body and the Fort Collins community is really going to get something out of. This year it's Julia Gillard, and first and only female Prime Minister focused on global education and women's leadership. I think that is an excellent thing to bring to the CSU campus.
Gillard spoke at the 6th Annual Global Engagement Distinguished Speaker Series.
What all of this feels like as a woman who has been a leader. The first thing I'd say to you is it felt lonely. From time to time, it really felt lonely being a woman leader. There would be day after day, meeting after meeting, where apart perhaps from a woman serving coffee or food, I was the only woman in the room.
So she really wants to bring strong women into politics who can create the change, because you can't make change unless you have a seat at the table. So I think it's an excellent thing to learn from a really important global leader like Ms. Gillard.
Because we need to do more than simply educate girls if we are going to see women come through as leaders. If education was the only key to unlocking gender equality, then the US would be a gender-equal society.
Sharing her personal experiences and hopes for the future, Gillard believes everyone needs to be an agent of change in order to see a better world.
So yeah, I find it pretty inspiring to find another woman who was a powerful politician and world leader.
We all need to be an agent of change, men and women both, because a gender-equal world will be a better world for men and for women.
This is Janae Hancock reporting with CTV.
Thank you, Janae, for that story that happened on Monday. For more information about events like these that the Office of International Programs puts on, visit international.colostate.edu.
College tuition is undeniably expensive, which causes students to speculate on ways to receive free tuition.
That's right, Jacobo. From student loans to class fees, one rumor circulating college campuses involves being a victim to a horrific accident. The interim director of Office of Financial Aid, Joe Donnelly, debunks these rumors and says even if a student were to get into a freak accident or seriously injured on campus, the university wouldn't be able to compensate them with free attendance. If students have questions about their tuition bill or want to discuss their financial options, they can visit the Office of Financial Aid. That's pretty crazy. You know, I've heard those rumors before, but I'm glad we have that cleared up because the last thing we need is injured students on campus.
Oh yeah, I'm sure many college students wake up in the mornings and say, I might as well jump in front of a bus this morning for free tuition. Don't do that, by the way.
Let's hope not. Let's avoid that. That's all we have for you tonight, but don't go anywhere because Sydney Wicker will let us know if there's going to be sunshine or snowfall after the break.
Then, bring you more.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
You are listening to 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins with DJ Meanbeat,
DJ Nightshade, DJ Wildcard. Music to me is one of the best creative outlets that I can think of. An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
To go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s bossa nova. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Hello Rams and welcome back from the break. I'm Sydney Wicker here to give you the rundown on the weather happening around campus. With that being said, let's take a look at your current conditions. Currently it is 37 degrees outside with wind coming in at 13 miles per hour from the north region, making it feel a little bit colder than it is. There's 5% precipitation in the air, but it doesn't look like we'll be getting any snow or rain tonight. Looking at the weather earlier today on campus, it was very windy outside. The wind was up to 21 miles per hour. It was making it feel 5 degrees colder than it actually was. And the mountains were a little visible today, and they were very snow-capped. And in fact, Copper Mountain got an additional 10 inches from the snow yesterday. And as there is some snow still on campus, it is beginning to melt very quickly. Taking a look at your overnight lows, 20s are scattered across the I-25 corridor, starting in Fort Collins at 22 degrees, moving to Denver at 25, 24 degrees in Colorado Springs, and 27 in Pueblo. Looking at the western region, it's 23 degrees in Craig, 21 in Vail, 32 in Grand Junction, 16 in Gunnison, 10 in Telluride, and 17 in Alamosa. Taking a look at tomorrow's highs, 40s are scattered across the I-25 corridor, starting in Fort Collins at 41 degrees, 45 in Denver, 43 in Colorado Springs, and warming up to 50 degrees down in Pueblo. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be 41 degrees in Fort Collins with a low of 26, and we should see some afternoon snow showers coming in, but the precipitation's only at 25%, so we'll have to see if it continues to snow. And taking a look at your 5-day forecast, it's going to be 42 degrees on Friday, 26 is the low. Looking at Saturday, it's going to be 48 degrees as the high and 28 as the low. Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 65 and a low of 37. And Monday, it's warming up to 71 degrees with a low of 38. And Tuesday, we could see some possible rain with a high of 55. Well, Rams, that's all I have for you right now, but stay tuned because up next, Jared Stratton has all you need to know on the CSU baseball team. Don't go anywhere.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I am Jared Stratton, here to catch you up on what's going on in CSU and professional athletics. The softball team is coming back to town to play against UNLV this weekend with 3 games scheduled. Last week, the Rams won 2 out of their 3 games against San Jose State, which were all close games, each of which were decided by 3 or less runs. This was borderline uncharacteristic for this team, considering they had been outscoring their opponents by a combined 154 runs over their 26 games. This weekend against UNLV, they are just behind the Rams in almost every single category, despite being in 4th place in the Mountain West. UNLV most recently lost to Fresno State, but swept San Diego State before that, making them an inconsistent team. These games coming up this week will greatly test the UNLV team, and CSU will have to adapt to their skill set. The CSU baseball team is also making some noise by winning 7 out of their last 8 games. Even though the Rams' most recent game was a loss, they were on absolute fire beforehand. They had scored 36 runs against Colorado Mesa in total of 2 games. Yes, you heard that right. They scored over 30 runs in 2 games. It doesn't just stop there, though. In their 2 games before that, they scored almost 20 runs. On the other side of the ball, Blake Burher pitched his shutout with only 2 hits, giving him a Mid-America Pitcher of the Week award. The Rams will look to restart their winning streak in Boulder against the CU Buffs this weekend. The Denver Nuggets barely dodged sliding from the number 2 seed in the West with their final win against Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves took down the Nuggets in the last game of the season last year, eliminating them from the playoffs, which made this a revenge game for the Nuggets. With 4 minutes left in the game, they were down by 11, but then things started to change. They were losing by 2 with less than a minute to go, and then this happened. The Blue Arrow strikes again, and after that win, the Nuggets are now officially in the 2nd seed with their eyes on the Spurs for the playoffs. Now it's time for my favorite part of the week. It's a 1-minute challenge where I fit in as much sports news as possible in under 1 minute. Let's get that timer started. The NBA world lost 2 greats yesterday in Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade. They both have combined almost 40 years of experience and 4 championships. They will go down as one of the best for their positions. The Nuggets are in the 2nd seed of the playoffs while the Rockets slid to 4th. Magic Johnson stepped down as Lakers GM while the Cavaliers, Grizzlies, and Kings head coaches were all fired. In the NFL, Antonio Brown is still taking shots at Juju Smith-Schuster, even though they were teammates less than a month ago. In the draft, Dwayne Haskins had an interview with John Elway wearing a John Elway jersey. If he falls in the draft, look out for his talents to come to Denver. One person that will apparently not to come to Denver is Josh Rosen. There are reports that the Broncos aren't interested in him, even if he comes available. The LA Chargers are surprisingly looking to first-round quarterbacks to replace Phillip Rivers in the future, and running back Miles Sanders is flying up the draft boards. In the MLB, the Rockies are now in the bottom of the NL West after losing 5 straight games. The Mariners are hitting home runs like crazy, instead of home run record actually, by having a home run every single game so far this season. The top 3 teams in the AL West have all won 6 games straight, including the Mariners, making it one of the strongest divisions in the MLB. Ooh, 5.18, I think that is a new record. All right, well, that's all the sports I have for tonight, but make sure to check collegian.com and follow us on Twitter at sports_CTV. I'm Jared Stratton, but don't leave just yet. Have you ever been on Old Town Road but want a song about it? Lorna Cutt has you covered.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Lauren Orcutt, your entertainment host, here to take you through all of the entertainment news happening this week. Local brewery, New Belgium, is flying to new heights with a bar and restaurant at Denver International Airport. The new bar has been serving travelers for over a month with its soft opening in early March. It seats over 100 people with a full bar and kitchen accompanied by 20 different beers available on tap. According to the Coloradoan, the grand opening ceremony will be on April 18th. There are many art galleries here on campus with rotating pieces every few months, filled with art from different people and different places. So, where does all of this art come from, and where does it live after it leaves the gallery? The Gregory Allicar Museum, located in the heart of the University's Center for the Arts, has several different exhibitions that come from several different places.
Right now we have 2 exhibitions that are both drawn from the permanent collection. Other times we'll borrow works from other museums or from private collections. Oftentimes we'll show some things from our collection and borrow others from other people to put together a kind of thematic exhibition.
The art gifted to the university doesn't travel from art museum to art museum, but rather resides on campus for what could be forever.
The museum maintains vaults that are rigidly controlled for climate and security.
Some pieces are historical to CSU's history and have traveled around campus being displayed in different buildings.
Now that work was initially given to the School of Business at CSU and hung in their lobby in their main building for a number of years, and then was, I think, moved to storage, and then when the museum was founded, it was transferred to us.
Although some art pieces may not circulate into the forefront of the museum, they are always available to be seen.
We are a public collection. The works of art that we hold as stewards are works of art owned by the state of Colorado and all the people in it, and for the benefit of people everywhere.
The Gregory Allicar Museum of Art is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Fort Collins is home to the only drive-in movie theater in northern Colorado. But if you don't have the bed of a truck to hang in or a big trunk to pile pillows into, don't fret. A new type of outdoor movie theater is coming just 60 miles south from FOCO. The Bed Cinema is coming to Denver this August. There will be a total of 150 beds with pillows, blankets, and LED night lights to hold your drinks and food. The Bed Cinema travels around the nation and will land in the Mile High City at the end of summer. Okay, I am in dire need to talk about the #1 trending artist on the Spotify charts because his song is breaking Twitter and making Hannah Montana fans, like me, love rap music. Old Town Road by Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus is #1 with almost 3 million hits. The original song, released in December of 2018, was originally a meme song because the lyrics were about an old country western cowboy riding his horse, but played in the genre of rap music. However, on April 5th, Billy Ray Cyrus hopped on the song and added in some lyrics. Twitter blew up by hearing Cyrus jump on the tracks. This new rendition of the song now has millions of people listening and loving the achy breaky heart country rock stars lyrics in this song. Next week, we'll see who takes the #1 spot on the charts and kicks Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus down a peg or two. Well, that's all the time we have tonight, Rams. Thank you for spending part of your evening with us. Stay warm and good night.